You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Friday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you camera shy?
No, not at all.
How come no pictures of you exist?
What do you mean?
We have the Brocks in Brockville, the gathering of the Brocks this weekend.
Yeah.
And I was trying to put together some stuff that'll play on like the TVs at the Aquatarium in Brockville, Ontario that we're going to. It is hard as hell to find a photograph of you. Did you
Like
know
by
that?
myself?
Yeah, of just you. Not a picture with me, not
yeah.
one of our weird stunts that we've done.
I feel like I'm photogenic, so I like taking pictures with people, but I don't take selfies or anything like that, and I very rarely upload like a photo of just my... Yeah, I guess I don't have any solo photos.
Like, if you look through your phone right now, do you have many pictures of yourself? Like, I get it, you're not a big, like, post them up on Instagram.
Yeah.
How far do you have to scroll in your own phone to find a picture of you? 'Cause I'll say this.
That's
I'm
my
also,
dogs. That's me and my girlfriend. More dogs. Me and other people. Yeah, I'm going back. I'm already in like February here.
Damn.
I'm back in. Yeah, I don't. Man, if I was single right now, I'd be friggin' screwed for Tinder. Honestly,
Well, no, because you got the dog, right? You post up some dog pictures.
the last photo I have, and no one that's listening to the podcast can see this, but if you could describe that photo.
Why are you in? Is that an adult diaper?
That's where we raised all that money for the Boys and Girls Club.
That's right.
I had to wear a diaper downtown. I sent that one to a group chat of fellas, so
That's the last photo that's just of you that's in your phone.
is me in a diaper.
Hey, your assignment this weekend, go take a selfie. You're a good-looking kid, all right?
Honestly, I'm kind of happy that that's the one. That it was like, that made me so happy to scroll through my phone and be like, oh,
Look at that.
yeah, I'm not as self-centered as I thought I was.
You're a confident man in that picture.
I think it says something, honestly.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
It's probably healthy.
You're probably right, actually. Yeah, you don't have the self-obsessed look.
Although the fact that I'm wearing a diaper is, it's hard to explain to anyone who goes through my phone.
That counters a lot of the other stuff.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We got a message on the bad line yesterday. Someone with a question for us here.
Hey, I'm just wondering who does a better oh yeah? James Hetfield, Macho Man Randy Savage, or the Kool-Aid guy?
It's a good question. Now,
Three titans of industry.
we are a big fan of James Hetfield and Fuel. Now, I know we are also big fans of the Macho Man.
Oh, yeah!
That's my childhood right there.
And I mean, you're the Kool-Aid guy here.
Oh, yeah!
Can you just clarify that I drink Kool-Aid and not that I'm a fat guy who runs into walls?
It's however you want to interpret it. However you want to interpret it. Now, who has the best ooh yeah is the question.
Oh, man.
I'll say this. It's not... Like, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, but it's only if you're a Metallica fan.
Yeah, and I mean, Hetfield's thing has always been more like, it's just a yeah. Like, he's got all these different yeahs.
Mm-hmm.
He only dabbles in the ooh yeah.
Now, I will say, Macho Man Randy Savage is kind of similar because, I mean, he's got different ooh yeahs.
Oh, yeah!
He's got that one, and then he's got kind of this one here. Right?
He's got range. He dabbled in it. I mean, this man ooh yeah'd for a decade plus in the industry.
Now, my only thing with the Macho Man is the ooh yeah, the emphasis on it kind of like gets a little bit diminished because yeah is almost like his segue word. I don't know if you've ever seen this clip before. It's a YouTube compilation of 5 minutes of...
This is me when my kids are telling me a story I do not care about.
Is it weird that that hearing him say yes is kind of bizarre at the end there? I just caught that.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. The S sound is weird.
I personally...
Are you a Kool-Aid guy?
I think it's the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah.
The only reason I think that is, I mean, on a global scale,
Yeah.
I think everybody knows
Oh, yeah!
The Kool-Aid Man.
Is Kool-Aid that big overseas?
It's been around since I looked it up. 1954 as him as the mascot going.
100%. Dude's been in some unhinged commercials. I went down a rabbit hole not long ago. Been around. But I'm thinking, like, is Kool-Aid that big outside of North America? Like, are European kids walking around going, oh, yeah.
Like a German Kool-Aid Man. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, like, I don't think it's the same. Whereas Macho Man was in wrestling at a time where it was sort of a global phenomenon.
Sure.
I do think maybe Macho Man might be more world-renowned. Also, again, I think you had a point with the range. Kool-Aid Man, every time he hits the wall, it's the same sound.
Yeah.
Every single time. Whereas the Macho Man could weave it into conversation. He'd be talking about, I'm going to meet you at WrestleMania. Ooh, yeah. And he just had so many ways to get in and out of it.
Was it so many ways to get in or out of it, or was it the cocaine?
Well, I mean, obviously, the cocaine is clearly part of the package. You can't have one without the other.
Sure. I just feel like the Kool-Aid Man, he's been through history, through the good and the bad, through the moon landing, through the Vietnam, through the Cold War, through Elvis, through disco, through the 80s. I mean, think about how many walls he's broke through over history.
Brother, I watched Macho Man Randy Savage answer the question, will you take Miss Elizabeth to be your lawfully wedded wife at WrestleMania with an oh yeah.
Just think about this, man. Just think about this. The Kool-Aid Man has been through almost everything since the 50s. Since the 50s, dude. The good and the bad that guy has seen, and he's still able to...
The Macho Man got turned on by Hulk Hogan at WCW Bash on the Beach when they formed the NWO.
None of that's real. None of that's real. Everything the Kool-Aid Man's been through is real.
The Kool-Aid Man's not real. He's an animated figure.
I don't want to believe that.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
So we've talked about it on the show before. I have sleep apnea, but I got diagnosed like good handful of years ago, and apparently I need to get another checkup. So I have to sleep in a lab tonight.
Oh, my dad did something similar like that a few years ago. Is where they put you in the dark, in that dark room, and you got to stay there all night?
I guess. I have honestly no idea. When I got diagnosed the first time, this was back when we were living in Saskatchewan, I went to a clinic and they just gave me a bunch of like tubes and wires and stuff, and I had to go home and I could sleep in my own bed, and I just had to set it all up, and it recorded all the data on like an SD card, like in your camera.
Yeah.
But now apparently, I don't know if we're just not doing that anymore post-COVID, but yeah, now I have to go to this lab tonight, and they are just like, yeah, just bring something comfortable to sleep in and nothing else.
As far as I know from what my dad told me, I think it's like you're in the room.
Okay.
And then people are watching you sleep throughout the night is kind of what it is.
On like cameras and stuff like that?
Yeah.
See,
and they're
honestly,
like analyzing your sleep and stuff like that, but someone's job is to kind of watch you in a sense.
Honestly, I'm okay with that because in my head, when they were like, you have to sleep in a lab, I just pictured like when you're watching like an action movie and there's like some sort of laboratory. I just imagine just a bunch of us all laying in different beds in the same like big open space with like a linoleum floor, dim lighting, people standing over the bed with clipboards and stuff. I'm like, I'm not going to get any sleep.
Dude, I don't even know how you'd sleep. I mean, I guess just going into the dark, it'll probably help you sleep. But the idea of people watching you sleep.
That is going to be a little bit
very
weird.
Creepy. Because if you ever caught someone looking at you while you're sleeping, you can sense it.
You get like this weird sixth sense vibe.
You can feel it. Yeah.
What is happening right now?
It's like the littlest thing where even you close your eyes if you're at the beach or something and someone's standing over you. You can feel their aura. Like you can see their shadow with your eyes closed.
Anybody who has kids knows that feeling all too well because it's called Saturday morning. When you're asleep, you're in that kind of like vague space just before you would wake up, and then you're like, there's someone standing next to the bed and there's a child.
I mean, just in general, I feel like you always know when someone's watching you.
Yeah.
Biggest one being at the urinal.
Oh, God.
You always know when a fella's taking a sneaky peeky.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't need to see you to know that you just turned your neck even just a few degrees Your eyes just shifted.
That's got to be one of the weirdest moments of making eye contact with someone.
Oh, God, eye contact.
Well,
never.
Well, you catch them looking, and then they look up at you, and they instantly look away, and you look away. It's a thing that happens. You can't deny that.
I'm not saying it never happens.
You can't just catch someone looking at you pee-pee and be like,
No, I do. I lock
you
up in that
have to
situation.
assert your dominance in that situation.
I'm not an alpha at the urinal. I get that sense that someone has like looked over, and I just lock in on a tile ahead of me and just like, nope, this is not happening. This is not happening.
Dude, it's like walking by someone sketchy on the sidewalk. Like, you have to maintain eye contact with them. God knows what they're going to do. You have to do the same thing at the urinal. If you don't maintain the eye contact while they're staring at you,
what's going to happen?
I don't know, dude.
You're making it sound like I'm about to get jumped at the urinal.
I don't know. If they're taking sneaky peekies, God only knows what they're going to do. You have to protect your neck. Wu-Tang Clan taught me that, dude. Seriously.
Just love the idea of just barreling a guy down with relentless eye contact to stop him from jumping.
If I had the shame bell on me at all times, I would ring it.
For the guy in the bathroom.
But you need to give him the glaring eyes of like, dude, keep your eyes to yourself, man. What are we doing here?
I personally I believe in de-escalation. If he looks at you, you just keep looking ahead, finish your business, and move on. You don't need to turn back and start having a staring contest at the urinal.
I mean, the only other logical thing to do is turn around and go, like what you see, pal? But then that could get you into some trouble.
You are asking for an awkward situation if you do that.
There's
100%.
no reason to stare at anyone in the bathroom, all right? That's all I'm saying. You
But
need to shut that crap down immediately.
I agree with you, but you're going about it the wrong way. Two wrongs don't make a right. If someone's staring at you, don't stare back. Be the change you want to see in the world, Brock.
What if they keep staring? Then they might catch a left hook. That's all I'm saying.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We got friend of the show, Mitch, on the phone. Mitch, what's the worst time to catch someone staring at you?
I work in the trades, and you just get those random people that drop by the job site, and they're just staring at you working. Drives you. Like blood boiling.
I've never thought about it before because there's so many times when I go downtown and I see fellas working and I'll stop and I'll like watch
Just to see what's going on.
Here you go. There we are.
You're the problem.
I'm not coming here downtown, I can tell you that much. There's a glaring rock.
You know, it does make sense though, because like we've both worked at a radio station that had like a street corner big window studio,
yeah.
And even then people would stop by and be like, "Oh, what's going on?" We called it the fishbowl,
Yeah.
and it made work 100 times more stressful.
It does. Like, it just bothers you so much. Something that's actually easy to do is 10 times harder when someone's watching you.
Especially if you're getting frustrated too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, every time.
I get that at the gym when I mess up something. Like, and I do bench press and I almost choke myself out with the bar.
Right. And then
Look
because
over at Mr. Freaking Steroids is like, loser.
Yeah, or even some smoke show is just looking at you and you're like, oh, man.
Yeah. My chances there, friend.
You know what's another big one is when you're cooking in front of people.
No.
And people are just analyzing what you're doing, and then someone says something, and you're like, dude, get out of my kitchen.
Kitchen is one thing. Barbecue's even worse. When you got all the other guys standing around, you gonna flip that? You might want to move that out of the hot spot over there. Hey, how about you just let me handle this, all right? You want to be the barbecue guy? You host the barbecue.
Talking about messing things up, someone said just when you fall in general and you get up and you see that people saw and they look away from you, that's even worse, honestly.
Especially like in the wintertime when you get like the icy parking lot you're walking through, you eat it. And like you said, it's if you see me fall and I see you see me, like, let's just make some eye contact. Let's acknowledge what happened here. Don't do the like quick turn away, because now I'm like, oh no.
I'm more embarrassed.
I'm ashamed.
I'm more embarrassed because you're embarrassed that you saw it. Yeah.
We can commiserate. We both know what this feels like. Don't shame me.
The worst feeling of seeing people watch you, though, and I don't think there's a human that would disagree with me on this, is when you're trying to parallel park.
I won't do it. I don't know what that feels like because I won't do it.
There are places downtown Where you're parking in front of like restaurants and stuff, and I'll just be like, I'll honestly, I'd want to go home sometimes.
Especially if it's like a street side patio. You got a bunch of people out there sitting having beers. You just became the entertainment. Like, because we've all been there. You're on the patio. You see someone pull up to a parking spot. What do you immediately do? Oh, he's not going to fit in there. Oh, he's not going to make it in there. Oh, and then everybody freaks out. Like, no, not a chance. I would park and walk an hour to come back rather than parallel park in front of the building.
I'll give it 2 tries.
Then you're out.
I'll give it the initial pull in, and I'll give it the adjustment, and if I don't figure it out, I'm out.
I don't know. I feel like that's worse. I feel like it's worse to try and fail than to just not try at all.
One time we were downtown, and Courtney's like, I'll get out of the car, and I was like, stay in the car. Don't do this to me, please.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The province of Ontario announced yesterday that sick notes will no longer be a thing. Yes, apparently Ontario is scrapping sick notes to cut down on doctors' paperwork and, well, make things easier for doctors, I guess.
I mean, that's just it, man. Doctors for a long time now have been saying, like, we don't need this sick note thing. Like, we're already at capacity. We're already so full. You're making these people go into walk-ins and ERs full of actually other sick people.
Paying to prove that they're sick.
Like, just if you're sick, you're sick. Leave it alone.
So you'll no longer be required a sick note for, I guess, the standard 3 days of missed work now. The idea always was funny to me to get permission, like a permission form to prove you're sick.
Right. Well, and especially because if you actually are sick, the last thing you should be doing is pack it up and heading out into public.
Also, just simply the idea that nobody has a family doctor anymore anyways.
That's just it, man. Like, I can't just call Doc Adams and be like, hey, I need a note for my boss.
Yeah.
I got to go wait at the walk-in for hours.
I do understand from the angle, like, if you own a business, like, this can be frustrating to try and get employees and stuff back into work because you do know, I will say this, a lot of fellas are going to be milking this one.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
I mean, that's the problem. That's why we were here in the first place, right? It only takes a few to ruin it for everybody else. If we all actually were honest about our sick days, then we could have this open dialogue and trust between employers and employees. But you know, there's a guy who's going to wake up on a Friday after he hit the bar on a Thursday and go,
oh, dude, we're going to see some of the greatest excuses starting to come through. And I mean, hands down, maybe I've said this before, but the best excuse, hands down, the best excuse if you want to get out of work, I don't mean to be gross or greasy, diarrhea always wins. Dude.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
Nobody wants to talk about it. I know there's someone listening right now that got grossed out at the fact that I even said that word.
Yeah, 100%. It's the same with ladies, and I'm not trying to be gross for anybody either. But what's the magic word if you have a male boss and you want to get some distance or some time? You're having lady issues, right? You're having your period, whatever it is.
I think in general, if you discuss any sort of fluids that are coming out of your body,
that's just it.
Nobody wants to hear it, dude.
If there's anything that was inside you that's now outside, everybody's just like, okay, sounds good. Take the day. See you tomorrow. Get away. Go away.
Even in general, even if it's not for work, if you want to get out of an awkward conversation, start saying you having body fluid issues. Just say, I'm leaking right now.
Yeah.
So someone's going to step away.
And then, I mean, the long-term version of that is my go-to excuse. I have kids.
Yeah.
My kids are sick. My kids have body fluid
That's
issues.
honestly the best excuse.
And even if I'm not saying that they're sick or whatever, it's just body fluid led to the reason I can't go out tonight. I don't have a babysitter.
And body fluid is what brought these kids here, too.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's the long-term booking.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Yesterday, the province of Ontario announced that they are scrapping sick notes to cut down on doctors' paperwork. And we just started thinking, that means there's going to be a lot of people coming up with gnarly excuses to get out of work now.
You don't have to go see a doctor to back it up. If I tell the boss that I can't come into work for a specific reason, it has to come down to, do you trust me? And is my excuse believable enough?
We took some texts in here at 762-555. Coming in at number 5, this is one that you can really only use once.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on how many family members you want to make it sound like are croaking in your family.
Right.
But death. The death of a family member.
The death in the family is going to work 100% the first time. Maybe the second time. You also got to keep a list. How many family members have you killed off so far?
I'll tell you this. My sister's a lawyer, and in the office that she works, we've had 3 family members die in the past 6 months.
It's been a rough stretch.
They did not believe her when we said that my grandfather in Newfoundland died earlier this week. They legit did not believe her.
Dude, you know what, though? That's perfect for her because now they called her out, but she was telling the truth. Imagine trying to call someone a liar again. Ever again.
Yeah.
You would feel so horrible about, oh, your grand, sure he did.
My family's cursed. Coming in at number 4, kind of rolls in from the whole family death. A sick pet or a dead pet?
You know what's crazy? You'll get more sympathy for a sick or dying pet than you will for a sick or dying relative.
Nobody wants to talk about a dead dog.
No, it's such a sad thing. People
Right?
will feel bad for you. Like if your cat or your dog is sick, oh my God, go home, take care of them.
If you really want to get out of work, you're like, little Scruffy was just, and start making sounds. Oh, they're going to get you off the phone like that.
Just go. Just go. Just go.
Coming in at number 3 of the best excuses to get off of work, car trouble always seems to work.
It works better depending on how bad your vehicle is, because you all park together. Everybody saw you roll in that 1993 Honda Civic. They'll believe that you had car trouble because we all have had car trouble at some time or another.
The only reason this doesn't work is if maybe you're in the trades and your boss is like, well, I'll come pick you up.
Yeah.
Right?
You really got to count on everybody being too lazy. But then the side thing is, the more you do it, the more everybody realizes they can kind of get by without you.
Yeah.
And now you're in trouble.
Coming in at number 2, it's the one I suggested, diarrhea.
Nobody wants to talk about what's happening in your tummy. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is give the impression that you've made a mess in your bathroom or your pants, and everybody's going to be like, take care of it. Don't come anywhere around the office.
And coming in at number 1 of the best excuses of why you can't come into work, you got kids.
Brother, I am undefeated at getting out of stuff I don't want to go and do. I got 2 kids. That's 2 kids that can get sick, 2 that can be tired. It's harder to get a babysitter for 2 kids. I can't get a sleepover for both kids every time. If I don't want to come, I don't have to think that hard. I got kids.
Kids ruin your life is basically what I'm learning this morning. Or they make it better.
It's both.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
There's this video that's been going viral. A guy in Newfoundland, Dennis Hobbs, recently won $5 million with Lotto 649.
Great name.
And he had to do his little interview there at the Ottery office, whatever you want to call it. He has got one of the best Newfie accents of all time.
Loves me an accent.
I want to see if you can figure out what he's saying here.
See, this isn't fair. You've got roots in Newfoundland. I'm a northern kid. I have trouble deciphering.
Here, I'll play the clip for you and let me know what you think he says here.
And do you have any future travel plans in mind?
Well, I might go to the Caribbean or something, party on the beach, something, you know. Do like you should. Gonna live, man. You only go on this way once. Live her up. So,
Sir?
30 years, the cup finally came out. Time to party.
Out to party.
Okay, I got 30 years, finally came out, time to party.
Yeah.
Something about a crib
No.
early on? No? Is there nothing? Play it again?
Here, we'll run through it here.
And do you have any future travel plans in mind?
Well, I might go to the Caribbean or something, party on the beach, something, you know.
Going to the crib party at the beach.
I think he's saying going to the Caribbean.
Oh!
Maybe party on the beach or something.
Okay. I'm doing okay so far.
I get a little lost in the sauce here.
Do like you should.
I don't know what that was.
I feel like he said, and I don't think this is what he said because they wouldn't have released it uncensored, but in my ears, it sounds like he's saying, feels like I'm going to 7448.
Do like you should.
I hope he didn't for the
play
radio
it,
sake.
play it again.
Here.
Do like you should.
Something about a shed?
I don't know. I get lost there. And then he keeps going.
Gonna live, man. You only go on this way once. Live her up.
Gonna go away in the woods and live her up.
I thought it was something about you only live once, so you better live her up. Is that?
Gonna live, man. You only go on this way once. Live her up.
You only go this way once? You gotta live her up.
Yeah.
What's live it up? I
Yeah.
was like, why your liver is okay, I'm sure.
One more time. I think that's what it is.
Gonna live, man. You only go on this way once. Live her up.
Little bit, you only go this way a little once.
Yeah.
You live her up.
And then someone asked him about how long he's been playing the lottery.
30 years, and the cup finally came out.
30 years, it finally came out.
Time to party.
Time to party.
Time to party.
Yeah.
This guy is my spirit animal.
Absolutely, man.
Because he's the only person who's been super real about what they're gonna do after they win the lottery. Everyone's always like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do stuff for my family." No, this guy's whole mantra is just
Time to party.
Time to party. Hey, absolutely. All these people who try to church it up, right? Because we want to pretend we're our absolute best selves when we win a bunch of money. I'm going to pay off my house, my cars, my bills. My family's never going to want for anything again. I'm going to invest it all. It's going to be really smart and really great. I'm going to the LCBO, and you might not see me for a bit.
Dude, this guy's a Friday vibe.
Time to party.
That's the vibe for the rest of today.
Time to party.
You only live once, gotta live her up.
That's all I want.
Time to party.
I want a party, and then I want to sound like this by the end of it.
Do what you should.
It's those TikToks you see. It's like, this is my first drink of the night, and then this is my last drink of the night.
I don't know if you guys have plans for Friday, but I want you to
Live her up.
because it's
Time to party.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
all right. Usually, this is my favorite part of the day where we like to do
Ed's word of the day.
Now, apologies to Ed. I know he did have a word of the day that he sent in to us, but I'm superstitious, and you got in my head a little bit.
Oh, are we going to do it?
Okay, so the Leafs...
Oh, I wasn't ready for this.
The
Hang on.
Leafs won on Monday, and Dalby claims that it's because of his stupid AI-generated song.
If you missed it earlier in the week, I found a website that you can type prompts in and it makes songs. So I made it make a song about how the Leafs always lose to the Bruins.
Okay.
Ironically, the day that I played it on the show is the only time the Leafs have beat the Bruins literally this whole season.
Now, you were saying, oh, we should play it on Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, get bent. And
then they lost.
They lost.
And it's your fault.
People have been texting in this morning asking if we can play the song. So if the Leafs don't win on Saturday, then this is not a good luck charm. But
well,
I am a little bit suspicious, so play the damn song for the people, okay?
Crushed hopes, the Leafs hit the ice. Another playoff round, another roll of the dice. Toronto's finest, green and blue in their stride, but those damn Bruins always on the winning side. Heartbreak City, the fans wearing frowns, a tale of despair played out in downtown. Every season, the story's the same. The Leafs and Bruins, a never-ending game. Maple Leafs meltdown, we've seen it all before. Swept away by the Bruins, 4 straight, no more.
4 straight, no more. We've already proven the song somewhat wrong because we played it and they won a game, so it couldn't be 4 straight.
It hurts me to my core to play that.
This is like, what was that, the Harry Potter movie? I've never actually watched them, but didn't they have to destroy all the parts of the evil guy to win in the end?
Yeah.
We have to keep playing this song to destroy the curse, right?
The Bruins is our Voldemort.
Is that his name? I don't actually know.
Bruins is our Voldemort. Except Brad Marchand's got a big nose. I hope this works. You guys asked for it. You kept texting all morning for it, so there you go. I do have one excuse if it doesn't work. Technically, the game's not till tomorrow. So what you should all do is download the Brock and Dalby podcast and then listen to it again tomorrow on game day to maximize the good luck of the song. If they don't win, we never play it again.
If they don't win, then the song's never been more accurate.
Shut up, dude.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store, with all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.